Welcome back to Couch Collectibles. Today we are looking at what you should be looking for on your Jefferson Nickels that can make them valuable. So let's check out these different coin prices. If you haven't already, feel free to consider subscribing. If you guys are into coin and collectible videos, feel free to go check the rest of those out here on the channel. Let's just hop right into it and check out these first 1938 Jefferson Nickels. Now, I was actually hunting some nickels the other day. I found some from the 40s and 50s. Most of the time, I usually find, one from the 30s and one box of nickels from the bank. You guys can go to the bank and search for those. What you gotta do is just ask your bank teller for a box of nickels, and sometimes they'll have them, sometimes they won't. But first up, here on the 1938, what you want to look for is a double die obverse. So look for doubling on the lettering of the coin of your 1938 D mint mark Jefferson Nickels. And here's an example of that coin. Now this coin is graded at a mint state 65, so it does have a high grade. It's got that double die on the front of the coin, the obverse. And this nickel here sold for a little over $190, so nearly a $200 coin. Now also, not just doubling, but there is quadrupling, which would be a QDO instead of a DDO. So quadrupling taking place here on the lettering of the coin. Look for that on the 1938 Jefferson nickel. You can do that with a coin microscope. I have those available on couchcollectibles.com. Feel free to go check that out on the website. Here is an example of that coin. Now this coin only sold for around $80, and it does have a high grade of a mint state 64. So keep in mind, if your coin is in very bad condition, in a case like this, it's not really going to sell for much money. So you always got to, factor in the grade of the coin when determining an ultimate value. Now in 1938, we also have the proof nickel, the proof Jefferson nickel here. And this coin here is graded at a proof 68. So that gives it all of its value. This coin sold for over $5,000. $5,000 because of its high grade. So keep that in mind. If you're not familiar with coin grading, I do have a couple coin grading videos here on YouTube. Just type in coin grading Couch Collectibles and you should find those videos. Now also, speaking of high grade, here's the 1938 no mint mark, and this is graded at a mint state 67. So this coin here sold for over $4,900. So again, nearly a $5,000 nickel here because of its high grade. So that is really awesome. 1938. For the 1938S, now they did make around 4.1 million of these coins, and this coin here in particular sold for over $3,700, so over a $3,000 coin because of its high grade by PCGS of a mint state 67. Now for the 1938 D mint mark, this coin here sold for over $4,900, again almost a $5,000 nickel because of its high grade of a mint state 67. So always keep that in mind. If you have a nickel that's all beat up and damaged, it's not going to sell for as much money. Also for the 1938D, they did produce a little over 5.3 million of these coins. So of course they produced a little bit less in comparison to some other Jefferson Nickels. There are other low mintage Jefferson Nickels that I talk about here on the channel. Let's check out some of those nickels right now and show you guys exactly what to look for. Here is a 2005 Bison Jefferson nickel. Now you can see the Bison reverse design there, the back of the nickel. And you can see that it doesn't look like a regular nickel. The front of the nickel looks fine. However, there on the reverse, we got an improperly annealed planchet. That's where you can see that copper layer on this Jefferson nickel. That is going to give the coin a little bit of value. This coin didn't sell for huge money, but it still sold for over $125. Now, of course, the grade of the coin is going to make it more valuable as well. So if your coin's like really beat up and it's got this annealed planchet, it's probably not going to be worth as much. Now here's another example. This one didn't sell for big money. However, this is an improperly annealed planchet taking place on the obverse, on the front of the coin. So we can see that copper layer again there on Jefferson's face and on the rest of the front of the coin. This nickel here sold for over $28, so nothing huge. But let's move on to what you really should be looking for on the Jefferson nickel. This is a 2005 Jefferson nickel with the Bison reverse design. Now you can see that line going through the buffalo. Now this is nicknamed the Speared Bison. So what it is a die gouge taking place on the reverse of the nickel. And you can clearly see that line, like I said, going diagonally all the way through the bison there. So that's exactly what you want to look for, and that's what we're going to look for here in just 1 second. Now here is a nickel that has that speared bison. The speared bison that I just showed you, this nickel actually has that. This is a 2005 Denver minted Jefferson nickel that sold for over $1,200. But keep in mind, guys, that grade also comes into effect. So if you're not familiar with coin grading, feel free to watch my coin grading videos. This one is graded at a mint state 66, so very high grade on that nickel, which will give it some value as well. Before we get into what to look for, I'm going to show you different types of errors on the 2004 nickel. This one here, real quick, is just been multi-struck. It's got a broad struck. You can see that taking place around the rim of the coin there, and that's going to give this nickel some value. Now, you can look for these in pocket change on all denominations of coins, pennies, dimes, all that stuff. This nickel here sold for over $630. Next up is another 2004 nickel that has a die adjustment strike. So a die adjustment strike will basically make the coin look like it's extremely faded out. Now, a lot of people get these confused with damaged coins, people that purposely damage the coin. However, this is actually a mint error. So it will give the coin a little bit of value. Now, this 2004 nickel here sold for over $430. Next up is another keelboat nickel, a 2004 Jefferson nickel that has an improperly annealed planchet. Now you can see that taking place there on the reverse, the back of the coin. You see there's nothing wrong with the front of the coin, the front design of the Jefferson nickel. However, there on the back, you can see the copper layer, and that is because it is in mint error, an improperly annealed planchet. Now this nickel here didn't sell for big money, but it still sold for over $115. Also, here's an extremely high graded nickel. Now this one here is a 2004 Philadelphia minted piece metal reverse Jefferson nickel. This one here, because of an extremely high grade, a mint state 68, sold for over $3,000. Now keep in mind, just because you have a 2004 nickel that may look like this doesn't mean that it's worth $3,000. It has to be an extremely high grade, and the grading scale only goes up to 70. This is graded at a mint state 68, so nearly a perfect coin. Now for the 2004 piece metal nickel, you want to look for doubling, which is what we're going to be looking for, a double die obverse. So you want to look for doubling on the motto, the date, and the mint mark. So we're going to do that. Here's an example of doubling on the word trust. You can see that doubling most noticeably there on the U and on the R, very visible there. You can see doubling there on the date 2004 itself as well. All right, here we go. Liberty and date. Not seeing anything on that one. Now we only do have a few of these. We don't have many, so we're going to go through these fairly quickly. But if we do find something, that would be amazing. If you guys want to see your coins up close like this, that way you don't have to destroy your eyes, get a USB coin microscope. I have them available right now on couchcollectibles.com. They are a lifesaver, man, on the eyes. You just plug it into your computer and bam, you get to see your coins up close like this. Search for errors and coins that could be worth money. Now this, nope. Nothing there on that. That one's pretty dirty there. Only a few more left here. And don't forget, guys, if you do want to join, we are doing exclusive perks for members. So if you press that join button on my channel, it will show you all of the perks that you guys get. I also explain it in a whole video on my channel, so be sure to go check that out. You guys can actually send coin pictures to me if you guys are members. So members only can send pictures of your coins, and I will give you guys feedback on if they are valuable, what you should do with them, what's the next step for you, all that good stuff. So if you guys want to join, make sure you press that join button. It is only $4.99 a month, so it is super cheap. I do get around $3 to maybe $3.50 of that. YouTube takes the 30%, plus they charge tax on it. So I'm not sure what the final outcome of it's going to be, but just to let you guys know about that. There we go, that is the last nickel. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle, check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I will see you all in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.